SailGP is fierce. And you must be fearless. This is a new era in racing. This is unstoppable. This is SailGP.
Waves crash underneath, sound like thunder speaking. Flying carbon machines, driven by the world's best, yes. Powered by nature, raw passion, all action. When it takes, racing on water, racing with impact. Give it all, everything, give it all, everything. We are racing. When it takes, we are SailGP.
Following an exciting finale to Season 4 in San Francisco, SailGP is back for a 5th season as the world's best sailors have made the journey to the Middle East and Dubai's scenic port of Mina Rashid. It's day 2 of racing at the Rolex SailGP Championship. Welcome to the first event of the 2025 season. This is the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix presented by P&O Marinas. Day 1 saw 3 different nations come away with wins, but 2 more fleet races await the teams today, and as usual, the conditions will play a huge role in the results. This is the 3rd time SailGP has raced on these waters in Dubai as the fans continue to fill the stands in anticipation of a great day of racing on the Arabian Gulf. With Olympian Stevie Morrison and former world champion Emily Nagel, I'm Todd Harris. The 2025 season kicks off in Dubai, but several familiar stops return along the way to the finale in Abu Dhabi next November. SailGP will return to traditional venues of Sydney, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Cadiz. But new additions have been introduced to the calendar, such as Auckland, Lake Geneva in Switzerland, Portsmouth, England, as well as Sassnitz, Germany. It's 5 continents in 12 months. The Rolex SailGP Championship kicked off in marginal foiling conditions. To foil or not to foil was the question. The United States SailGP team won the start, and their communication on board was impressive.
Okay, we might just get it. I don't think it's worth it. No, H1? I don't think so.
It didn't take long for the rivalries to reappear from last season. Australia tried to challenge for the lead, but were overtaken by New Zealand when they split at gate 3.
Here it's advantage New Zealand. Can the United States accelerate their boat? Taylor Canfield, nothing more spectacular than winning the first race of the season.
New to the league is Mubadala Brazil SailGP, and in race 2, double gold medalist Martini Grail was quick to nail the start alongside Canada with new signing Giles Scott.
Great start by the Brazilians.
Germany, though, held the inside line and kept their F-50 in clean air all the way to the finish.
Well, this is a huge moment for the German SailGP team.
With Canada not far behind in second.
Yeah, that was great stuff.
New Zealand once again clawed back places by splitting the course.
How many times last year did we call this Kiwi boat Harry Houdini?
Here we've got good speed, so we'll try and keep it there.
Race 3 saw Australia try a different start strategy.
How's your timing, Tom Slimsby? Oh, he's thread the needle. Have a look at it. Unbelievable there.
The Australians ran away with the race.
This is a huge victory for Australia. What a confidence booster.
It was a battle in the light airs, and new entry Red Bull Italy found their groove and showed that they can mix it up with the top teams in the league. But it was Mubadala Brazil SailGP that pulled off the move of the day.
Brazil on the outside, slingshotting around the US boat.
3 different winners, United States, Germany, and Australia, with the Flying Roos the most consistent on the opening day of the Rolex SailGP Championship here in Dubai. So after 3 races, Australia's consistency coupled with a race 3 win puts them in the lead with New Zealand 1 point back. Then the battle for third has Emirates Great Britain, North Star Canada, and the US SailGP team all even on 18 points. The Swiss, last year's champions Spain and Germany, are holding down 6th, 7th, and 8th places respectively. Rockwell Denmark, Mubadala Brazil, and Red Bull Italy have work to do if they want to make it to the event final.
After yesterday's 3 races, we have 2 more fleet races today. The winner of each race gets 10 points, down to 1 point for the 10th place finisher, 0 for last. The top 3 in the accumulated points after 2 scheduled races go into the final to find the winner here in Dubai. Let's go and see what the race course looks like today with Emily.
Race day 2 will see the same course sailed as yesterday. At the starting gun, all 11 teams will head to Mark 1. Yesterday we learnt just how important winning that inside line to the mark is, but even more critical is the trigger pull, with the teams that fly a hull or foil first holding on to the lead all the way to the bottom gate. Life here is easy for the leader, able to choose which way to go. As for those behind, they will have to navigate the turbulent wind of the boats ahead to find a clean lane. A team that can use their acceleration at gate 3 to get up on the foils will have a huge opportunity to pass. The final mark, only metres from the shore, acts as a bottleneck, with teams converging and a chance to steal the win in front of the cheering fans at the finish line.
So we're just a few moments away from the first race of the day. This will be race number 4 as all the teams are out there. Remember, France doesn't join us until next month in January. Right now, we check in with the 4th member of our broadcast team. Here's Olympic silver medalist Lisa Darmana down on the water.
Todd, I've got good news from down on the water. The wind has pushed in the last 20 minutes, and we have 10 to 20 kilometres per hour from the west, but on average it's much better than yesterday. The F50s have been foiling around the last few minutes of practice, with some even nailing those foiling manoeuvres. As the course is a little bit more consistent than yesterday, it is going to be a much more exciting day, but there are some gusts, so a little bit of opportunity for overtaking. But as we know, it is all in the start. Some boats will be flying off the start, some boats will be dead in the water. Who's going to nail it?
All right, thank you very much, Lisa. Great news. A little bit of breeze starting to build. Roughly 90 seconds to go before we start this 4th race of this event. This is race number 1 on day number 2. 3 races taking place yesterday, and now they get into the box and start the dance, Stevie. 11 nations all trying to get in that prime position, and you see the pole position right now is in the center of the course. Why is that not at the top like it normally is?
Well, that's a race management decision. They can tweak where that start line sits in terms of angle to the wind and how it lines up with Mark 1. So they tried to put it in the middle, make a bit more of an even battle, and it's all going to be about really, can they boats hit the start line at top speed?
So it'll be 5 crew members on board as opposed to the normal 6. That's to save weight and give them an opportunity to get these boats up and foiling. That's the name of the game, is speed in SailGP. Mother Nature giving us a little bit of a helping hand here as we come up on 45 seconds before the start.
Well, there we go. We see the star above the Brazilian team there. That's the Rolex pole predictor star. So if they can execute their perfect moves from here, they're predicted to be first to Mark 1. But there's a lot of jostling to be done before then. We see New Zealand towards the top of our screen. I like where they're positioning themselves now. They're really going to be able to be on the inside at Mark 1 if that works out well. Brazil out the back. The pole predictor sits on Rockwell, Denmark. Important day for Rockwell right now. Well lined up for that pole position at the moment. Can they accelerate the boat? 15 seconds to go. Spain, left-hand side of our screen. They're already foiling. They're going to be coming in hot at the top end of the line here. 9 seconds to go. It's going to be Australia at the bottom of the line. Spain, closest to camera, coming in. Looks like the time is good. Diego Botín spins the boat. How does it accelerate? They just put the bow in, but they're up and foiling. Australia towards the top of our screen are foiling. They'll be on the inside, but can the Spanish accelerate over? Little wobbly on board at the moment.
Championship Sunday, and the champions from last year are off and running as they make their way to mark number 1 in Dubai. It will be the Spanish out in front.
Down in 3.
Oh, what a first leg by Botín. He absolutely nailed that start there. Rockwell, Denmark, they come round second. They executed that pole position well. Second, they'll be happy with that. North Star Canada third, and the Rolex sprint leader at Mark 1 is Spain here, and it's a short dash to gate 2. They'll be trying to minimise the manoeuvres from here.
1. Turning. Happy everyone up? Yeah, you're with.
They've got wind, they've got speed, and they are up and foiling. The Spanish making their way now down to gate number 2. This is the DP World Gate. They lead the way. Denmark sits in second, Canada in third, and here come the Australians, the Kiwis, and the Germans.
Well, New Zealand looked like they might have executed a perfectly timed manoeuvre there. They were fifth. They could well get the rights to be on the inside at gate 2 here, and they could be up to second. Yesterday, they took 6 places in race 1 on this first downwind, 7 in race 2. Burling, the master of the first downwind sprint.
Nikolai Sehested and Rockwell, Denmark, they split the course. They go to the right. Everyone else is following the Spanish to the left.
Of course, it's a race to the final today, Todd. I think that's what we've got to remember. It's all about making that top 3. So for Spain, this is a huge result. Australia and New Zealand, well, they had a brilliant first day. So they're looking pretty secure if they can get a good race here. Rockwell, Denmark at the back of the pack. They've split the course. They've got clear wind, control of their course. As we see Spain, terrible manoeuvre at the top there. They tried for the foiling tack and did not stick it at all. Here we see Oracle Cloud powering our SailGP Insights, bottom left-hand side of the screen, and we can just see that the Spanish right now a lot more speed than Denmark. Much more wind, should be able to make a gain.
Lisa, you've got the best view down on the water. This is leg 3 of 7. Has anything changed in the last 5 minutes?
H1 for now, out of it, neutral diff rest.
Really changed. In general, it is a lot harder to execute those foiling tacks. So the leg that they're on up now, it's a lot harder to get those foiling maneuvers.
All right, traffic is next, K. Yeah, stay down.
Okay, I think we can see how hard those foiling manoeuvres are. Rockwell, Denmark on the right of our screen. They got so slow there, but the space they found did give them an advantage. Coming through the middle, left-hand side of the scene, the United States, sorry, they're making some gains out that side. They're going to need that if they want to find a final position today. Rockwell, Denmark must be careful. Spain have the right of way.
Trying to get the crossing.
So Nikolai Sehested, Rockwell, Denmark will dip behind the Spanish with Diego Botín at the wheel. The United States on the top of your screen in the distance. They won the first race yesterday, Taylor Canfield and company for US SailGP.
Tight moment here, Todd. Spain are about to manoeuvre. They're going to turn. They'll lose right of way. New Zealand will be the right of way boat. Spain need to be confident as of crossing ahead of New Zealand. No, he's not going to do it. He dips behind. New Zealand will take the lead momentarily.
Smart move.
Well, he had to avoid it, but it was a punchy place to manoeuvre. They're going to have to go all the way back behind Australia, sailing completely the wrong direction at the moment. Burling now, he's trying to anticipate. Will Australia be able to get a piece of them?
Hey, settle. 32's Leo when we go for it.
He has crossed ahead of New Zealand, has got the lead there. What judgment from Peter Burling. Spain right back in the pack now. They've got to watch out for Switzerland and Denmark. The first 3, United States, great work by the US SailGP team. They've made a gain, but it's all about this top mark. It's going to be so tight. Getting out of here clean will be crucial halfway through the race.
So at gate number 3, it is now the Kiwis in the lead. New Zealand and Peter Burling, and look at the US SailGP team. They were in 7th place, they are up to 3rd, and it'll be a tight cross here. Taylor Canfield has to dip behind the Spanish.
Yeah, and he's going to have to watch out here. It's a really difficult position for the United States now. They're going to have to manoeuvre again. They're going to lose a lot of places here because they're going to be very slow. They're right stuck between the gates. Very weak position on the rules. See how slow the United States boats are. It's opportunity for those boats behind, but New Zealand, it's just great news for them as they're going to slide away.
For it.
So the Kiwis, like they are prone to do under the guidance of...
Got rolled down now.
Oh, Slingsby losing his temper with set. Schneider on board the Swiss boat. They roll round the top, but vital meters thrown away there. Australia had to keep clear. Slingsby was not happy.
So it's New Zealand, Spain, Denmark, and Australia. And Stevie, as I was about to say, New Zealand and Peter Burling, they love to do this. Get away from the rest of the fleet, race their own race. Look at this, clean breeze, no one within 200 meters of them.
Yeah, and you can see just how hard the manoeuvres are, Todd. But if you're out in front, you've got that little bit more chance to make decisions. I think what's so incredible is how tight the fleet get. Look at this Australia here. We're on board with Tom Slingsby at the back of the boat, trying to thread the needle there. He anticipates Australia's move. What's happening with Emirates Great Britain? Well, they're getting out of the way. Oh my word, there's a Swiss boat in front of me now. Oh, it's Dodgems at the top mark for Slingsby. How he threaded it through there. Well, brilliant work. As we can see, Spain have made a gain over New Zealand. Lead change. They just found more wind. Lisa said it's gusty and shifty out there, and even the best cannot pick the right way at times. Botín, he's back in the lead as Burling crosses just in front of Rockwell, Denmark. Gate 4 is going to be some interesting decisions to make.
So Spain got the whole shot, led throughout the first 2 legs, and then they had to give it away because they did not want to collide, obviously, with New Zealand. They dipped behind both New Zealand and Australia, but now they find themselves back in first place, and they're going to opt for the same side as they went last time.
Yeah, New Zealand might well dip behind here. New Zealand did have the right of way there, but it would have been a lot of manoeuvres very quickly. Burling's hoping to be fast around the outside, and again, classic Peter Burling and New Zealand. Lead out of a gate turning if you can.
H1, Joey. And let's extend H1 and happy Joey up.
Look favoured to the Spanish mark though there, Todd. It could be a nice game for Botín out of that mark, and for Spain again in this race to the final. Let's remember it's really a lot more important for Spain. They're directly in a battle with Emirates Great Britain if they want to get to that final.
Spain did not have the best day yesterday. They started off with an 8th, then they went 6th, and then they finished the day off with a 3rd.
Points to game. But how many times in season 4 did the Spanish manage to pull a rabbit out of the hat on that one? It's tight back in the pack here. Look, we can see Canada, North Star Canada, they were in 4th overnight, just ahead of the Swiss. Oh, it's so tight in that middle of the pack. Any little mistake and you can lose a lot of distance very, very quickly.
So many valuable points still to be found out there, Stevie. You look at the top 2 positions with Spain, and look at this. This is on board Rockwool, Denmark.
Yeah, well, Rockwool have room to be on the inside there. Great Britain will have to stay wide, but as soon as they exit the mark, then they've got to keep clear of Emirates Great Britain. And yesterday, Dylan Fletcher wasn't very aggressive. Today, he's got his fighting hat on.
And here we've got that race to the final. So as it currently stands, we would see Spain get ahead into the final ahead of Great Britain if they finish ahead of them in this race. But still plenty of action to go, still another lap left.
Yeah, the tiebreaker is always how you did head-to-head in the last race run. So Spain beats Great Britain this race, they would have the edge. But remember, there's still one more race to go, Stevie. You pointed out there's 10 points to the winner of each race. So there's a little points to play for, especially for the teams that are currently sitting in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Australia and New Zealand, they won't feel completely safe just yet. We can see both Spain and New Zealand turned away from the wind, made a big effort to get up and foiling. They'll both be feeling quite happy now, but at the moment it's Fletcher. He's the big mover in the fleet on Emirates Great Britain. We're on board with the Kiwi boat here, and it looks pretty smooth.
Right, phase. It's phase still coming up. 2, 1, board down.
Constant comms between Liv Mackay there and Peter Burling, just discussing about how they're going to do with the wind shift, touch and go manoeuvre, so expect that hull to go in. Here we go.
Leo Takahashi.
That's nice. New flight controller, of course, on board the Kiwi boat here, Todd. A lot of pressure on Leo Takahashi, the flight controller there. New to the boat, and we can see Spain. They've managed to get up on the foils again. Emirates Great Britain, Dylan Fletcher, he's got that British boat going very fast. He's making gains through the fleet at the moment.
3, 2, 1, down.
Other than that dip below New Zealand, Diego Botín and the Spanish Stevie have been very efficient on this race.
Yeah, they've been very fast, and they took a left turn last time. They've gone left turn again. Do you think that looks like a good move, Lisa?
Yeah.
I do think it's a good move. The wind is really funneling down that side. We saw that yesterday as well, so super strong. Everyone seems to be executing the foiling manoeuvres out here, and the Spanish are just going for it. I think that's where all the gains have been on the upwind as well, so they are on the correct side of the course.
There we go. This could be a huge race here, Todd. Not far to the finish. I think the Spanish look pretty good here.
Yes.
They're sounding calm on board the boat.
I want to remember the new teams that have been added this year. Of course, Mubadala Brazil currently sitting in 7th place, and then Red Bull Italy in 11th right now on this race, with one more race still to go.
New Zealand look well positioned. There's going to be a right turn to do at the bottom, so potentially 2 more manoeuvres for the Kiwis. Could give Emirates Great Britain a shot at the Kiwis at the bottom here. Dylan Fletcher and Ian Jensen, Luke Parkinson, they've really started to find their feet. A new team, of course, here working together. And we see here our race to the final again, left-hand side. Emily's luckily in with us, looking over that. Australia, Spain still just ahead of the British on the points, but there's going to be a whole nother race to go. Spain need to hold on.
All going on. Keep fighting.
And happy to box it, max it.
That's the right words to be saying, Dylan, but it looks pretty good for Spain here. The Kiwis are
look
fast.
at this. The Kiwis are coming in quick.
I don't see a lot of room around the outside, though, Todd. As soon as they get over that, the Spanish are going to have to keep clear now, and they're off the foils. This one's going to go to the Kiwis.
And look at this. In the final moments of race number 4, Emirates New Zealand, the Kiwis somehow find a way for the Emirates winning moment, and Peter Burling and company come away with a victory in race number 4. And that is your Emirates winning moment.
Pete Burling's just discussing that first downwind leg after Mark 1 into Gate 2. So far at this event, he has gained 16 points between Mark 1 and Mark 2. In Australia, they're going aggressive round the outside of Rockwool Denmark. Rockwool Denmark are going to have to keep clear. Slingsby's not going to let him off the hook here. It's another point for Slingsby. Look at this, aggressive. Rockwool have to keep clear. Rockwool have to keep. There's going to be a protest from Slingsby. You can be sure of that.
Oh,
And it's now a little drag. Here we go.
Goes to the umpires. Penalty Denmark. Winner of boat not keeping clear. Relative Australia.
There you go. Chief umpire Craig Mitchell in the booth. I've got to say that was a correct decision there, really. Rockwell had to do more work to keep clear there. Good comeback by Slingsby up to fourth.
So the Australians will take fourth, and the points that go with it. Rockwell Denmark drop back to fifth, and here comes US SailGP in sixth.
Big winner in that race really is Emirates Great Britain,
Yep,
Todd. They
no
were
question.
third overnight, but tied on points with several other boats. And United States SailGP team was one of those teams. Well, it's not a bad result for Canfield, but he now is going to need to put some serious places between him and Emirates Great Britain. He does not look happy right now.
And then you have Mubadala Brazil and Martini Grail. Looks like they're going to settle for seventh.
Everyone there.
So the rest of the fleet coming in as it is clear that New Zealand, Spain, and Emirates GBR will take the top three positions.
And happy to box it.
Here we go, we're back on board here with the Spanish, and we see they just drop off the foil in that final rounding. Surprised they did that. That's definitely a mistake by the Spanish there, because they were well lined up for the mark. And of course, a foiling boat, zero drag relative to a boat sat in the water, and they just fly around the outside. And well, yeah, Peter Burling said it best. It was beautiful. It was perfectly executed. And there's no better time to get in the lead than just when you're about to finish.
The last 50 meters, and New Zealand go past Spain, who got the whole shot and led for much of that race, but they could not hold on to it. So it's New Zealand that gets the win, Spain second, Emirates GBR in third, with Australia in fourth. And it looks like the Canadians will come in, finish in eighth, just one spot ahead of the Swiss.
I don't know what was happening.
Well, North Star Canada there, that's left them work to do in this final race. It will be work that's achievable. There's a lot of points still on offer, but Canada, North Star Canada, really, Giles Scott's probably going to need a race win. Same for Seb Schneider there. Arno Sarafagis, new wing trimmer there, sat next to a Morgeo at the front, strategist. Well, they've got some serious work to do. They've got to gain some points. Tough first race for the Italians and the German teams here. They're not going to be happy. Rockwell Italy, well, we had great expectations for them. Carl Langfording as wing trimmer. Got a lot to learn, of course, and this is a bit of a rude awakening to SailGP for this new team.
Big learning curve for the Red Bull Italy team, as their best finish so far has been a ninth. Remember, with the addition of the new teams, after 10th place, no points awarded. So it'll be difficult when you finish in 11th and 12th in any race to make it into the event final. So the entire fleet is across the line, and that is race number 4. Remember, one more fleet race to go before we have the event final, where only the top 3 teams will battle it out. And now let's take a look at the provisional standings. After 4 races, it will be Australia and New Zealand still battling it out, Stevie, out on top. They look very good, but to your point, this next race is going to be huge because it's all about getting that third position. We've always said if you're in the 30s, you're probably pretty safe, but as we look at it now, there's going to be a lot of teams right on that limit of 28, 29, maybe even 27 with an opportunity to get into the event final. So let's take a look at the standings. Again, 4 races, 10 points per win in each race. Consistency, always a key. You can have a bad race, you just can't have 2 of them as we now crunch the numbers. And it is New Zealand on top, 33 with 31 for Australia. Emirates GBR now firmly, and I'll say firmly by 1 point ahead of Spain. They really missed out on that extra point, Stevie, which would have put them in the top 3. The USA is on the outside looking in, but remember, they're just 3 points behind. Then you've got Canada, Switzerland, Germany, Rockwell Denmark, Mubadala Brazil, and Red Bull Italy rounding out the fleet.
And what a start that was. From about 20 seconds out, it looked like Spain were going to be way too early and have the door shut on them by the Canadians. But they managed their speed well. They had enough space around them to kill that time. And by the time the gun went, they were the fastest boat on the course at 43 kilometers an hour and able to roll over the rest of the fleet. Really impressive first leg. Here, Danish split off of the mid-round at the bottom gate in second, but immediately get into that lighter patch of air. But then the Spanish, they had some really poor maneuvers, which really impacted them here. We see them duck behind the Kiwi boat and really force them into the pack with everyone else, which led to all of this chaos at the top gate.
All right, let's talk about fly time, because that really is what comes down to, Emily. Unfortunately, we have the win, so they are able to foil. But as we look at the Emirates fly time, how does this all play out? Does it translate always to a victory?
Well, in this case, it actually didn't. The Emirates fly time actually went to Australia with 79% of the time up on the foils, but it wasn't that big of a difference for the Kiwis. But this finish was just epic, and it really highlighted how strong the New Zealand team were, particularly downwind. And today, it didn't just come down to the start. It certainly helped the Spanish, but it came a lot to actually the sailing around the course.
So Emirates fly time goes the way of the Australians, 79% fly time, but they finish in 4th place.
And if we look at these numbers here, like take a look at this graph. So this shows the Spanish versus the Kiwis. We see how dominant the Spanish were with the starting performance, way better than the Kiwi start. But that difference there downwind is what made all of the difference. We saw the Kiwis snake through and steal the win.
So it's now time for our Rolex winners interviews. We go on board with New Zealand. Peter Burley and company. Pete, great race for you guys. You guys have been consistent on day number 1. Other than the 5th place you had in that 3rd race, you guys seem to be picking up right where you left off last year. How is the camaraderie on the boat, and how is it welcoming in new sailors?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty tough getting everything together in such a short space of time. I mean, the build-up for us this event has been about an hour sailing. I think you look at our wing, it doesn't quite look normal. But yeah, great to get some solid results on the board, and mate, stoked to take our first win in this configuration in that race.
Pete, I think you've overtaken nearly 16 places on the first downwind leg of this event so far. Is that some amazing strategy you've got planned in, or is the other teams making mistakes that you're able to take opportunity over?
I think your Mark 1 stats are probably what's letting you down there a bit. Yeah, it almost seems like no one's anywhere near Mark 1, and if you're on the inside in bad air, you're struggling a lot. So yeah, we obviously got a nice one getting the ley line perfect in that run, so that was great. Probably a little bit lucky, but yeah, you've got to be able to go forward, and that's what we'll be doing this weekend.
Pete, appreciate the time. You and Liv and Blair have a great next race. We'll see you guys soon.
Thanks heaps, guys.
So New Zealand gets the win in grand fashion in race number 4 to start off Championship Sunday, with one more fleet race still to go as we get a nice flyby by the DP World Clubhouse. Beautiful place to watch the best sailors in the world race here in Dubai.
Please go towards not so much, Joey. Not so much. Coming up. And happy to board down.
Every boat's going to have a long run up. It's all on the judgment. Top of the line, Spain. They're going to have the fastest angle to Mark 1, but that optimum position is at the downwind end. Here comes the push from Slingsby, trying to get over the top, trying to gain control. And at the bottom of the line, here comes the black foils. Who's got their timing right? They're all going to hit the line fast. Spain's so fast at the top of the line. They're going to lead at Mark 1.
Fairway in 5, 3, 2, 1, down. And good shot here. And nice. Big pressure here in 2, 1, big pressure. Let's try to go for it, and if not, we go fast mode. Okay, keep it calm.
That yellow line there, that is the ley line. So that means once they've passed that, they should be able to do this one final manoeuvre and then make it to the final turning mark with no more turns. This is it. Season 4 is going to be Spanish.
This could be the greatest race in Spanish history.
More side. Good guys here, speed up with it. Nice. Fairway in 5, 3, 2, 1, down. And big shot, hit it.
They've just called that ley line a little bit too tight, so they're having to sail really high angle to make this mark, which means they've come off of the foil here, leaving the door open behind them. The Australians are coming in 65 kilometers an hour. Pressure is on for the Spanish team to get back up on the foils here.
And now it's a drag race to the finish line. Can the Spanish get it done? They've got 100 meters to go.
Come on.
And they will get it. Vamos España. Spain claims season 4.
Flying Flying carbon machines, driven by the world's best. Yes, powered by nature, powered by nature. We are SailGP.
Welcome back to Dubai in the 2025 season. Rolex SailGP Championship at the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix presented by P&O Marinas. Well, the Red Bull Italy SailGP team is spearheaded by sailing legend Jimmy Spithill. After departing the United States SailGP team last season, Spithill transitioned into a brand new leadership role for Red Bull Italy, focusing on guiding and developing this promising Italian squad.
We are announcing the Red Bull Italy SailGP team. Really exciting moment for Italian sailing, but also for Italian sport. We look forward to you joining us on this journey.
Okay, are you ready for the launch of the Red Bull Italy SailGP?
One thing I really noticed living in Italy was just the talent, the guys and girls coming through. And hey, at the end of the day, the results do the talking.
I sailed the Olympic classes in 49 FX and then in NACRA 17. And then I participated in the Women's America's Cup. I won it with the girls.
I've been sailing the 49er in Rio, and after that I moved to the NACRA 17 and did a couple of gold Olympic medals.
We're under no false illusions that it's an hours game in SailGP.
Next one is the last one, right there on the finish line.
Fleet is absolutely super high level, and we are trying to catch up with the fleet. It's going to be hard, but we are a superheroes team.
The F50 is an absolute beast, and it's one of the hardest boats to sail. So I really wanted someone that had the hours and could help with that education process and bring them up to speed. Kyle Langford, he was number one on my hit list.
Got a lot of history with Jimmy. When he was with the American team, he made a couple of offers, and I think every time he was becoming more and more convincing. And then when he came forward with this Italian offer and just the vision he had for the team and that I could be a part of something from the very beginning, yeah, I guess it was an offer I couldn't say no to.
It's a journey. This is the first step in the journey, but the important part is we've got the right people. We've got the right approach. We've got the right culture.
It's fantastic to have Jimmy with us, taking on the coaching role. The environment around us is so good.
I'm very proud to be involved in this Season 5 with the Red Bull Italy SailGP team. It's a huge honor.
So we are down to the fifth and final fleet race here at the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix presented by P&O Marinas. Stevie Morrison, Emily Nagel, Lisa Darmanin, and Todd Harris with you as we get ready to start crunching the numbers. And this is where it gets a little bit sticky. You've got to think that New Zealand and Australia, Emily, are pretty safe, but then you've got, what, 4 teams that really still have a shot at that third and final spot.
Yeah, there's still all to play for. Canada, they could potentially make it. They would need to win this race, and for GBR and Spain to not have a great race.
Right.
But we've seen how tight the racing is. Anything could happen.
So there you see the numbers right now. New Zealand on 33, Australia on 31, Great Britain 26, Spain 25, USA 23, Canada 21. Stevie, 10 points a race, so you can kind of do the math simply there, but how important is going to be this next start in race number 5?
The start's always so crucial, and I mean, technically anyone down to the Swiss can still make it into that final race. Of course, they're going to need other teams to slip up, but yeah, it's all about execution now. But New Zealand has shown us it's not all about the start, it's about how fast you can get this boat round the course.
So it all comes down to that third and final position into the event final, and right now it is Emirates Great Britain that holds it with 26 points. They just need to stay ahead of Spain. They are the defending champions of last year. Big question is, can they get it done? Spain has had much better starts over the course of the last 4 races, and now the pressure is on Emirates GBR. Just moments ago, Lisa Darmanin catching up with Dylan Fletcher.
Dylan, it's a little bit nicer out here today, foiling manoeuvres, but still pretty high pressure. You guys are going into this race third.
Yeah, it was plenty of hustling in that race, saw lots of ups and downs, and yeah, just fantastic. Putting on a great show.
There's still some opportunities for overtaking out here from where it looks like to me. How's it feel on the boat?
Yeah, it certainly feels tight, the course, with 11 boats, and yeah, we're just trying to keep it smooth and solid, so good last one and we'll be happy.
The course is pretty short. You're always doing a manoeuvre or rounding a gate. Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, it's certainly very tight at the bottom with with the finish line and the spectators, so it's exciting.
And how much would it mean to make a final in your first event back?
Oh, it'd be huge to make the final. You know, I think we got absolutely nothing to lose, so we're looking forward to it.
I better leave you to it. Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks.
I don't know how they're going to get it done, Stevie, with all the gold medals on that boat. You saw the team back there with Dylan's got a gold medal. You've got Hannah Mills. She's got 2. I mean, that's a loaded squad.
Yeah, Ian Jensen, gold medal, silver medal as well himself as the wing trimmer. So there's plenty of talent on all these boats as they head back into the start. But yeah, for Emirates Great Britain, he says there's no pressure, but you know, this is the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix, so I think it's a little bit of hometown pressure on that boat, I'd say. And Dylan, you know, he'll want to perform, but they've been doing well so far, so no reason why they can't do that again. And for Spain, well, defending champions, and they're hunting them down, so there can't be any more pressure than that.
So there's the situation. New Zealand on 33, Australia on 31, Great Britain on 26, Spain 1 point behind. Just 3 boats will make the event final. You have to be on top 3 with points, and there's 10 points up for grabs for the winner of this next and final fleet race as we approach the 1:10 until the next race begins. All the teams now in the start box getting ready to do the dance and see who can get to that line and time it just perfectly and claim a great position. So all the boats now in position. Spain out the far back. So 47 seconds to go until the start of race number 5. 10 points on the line. New Zealand, Australia feeling pretty good about things. The big battle will be Emirates GBR and Spain for that 3rd and final position, Steve.
Yeah, and Spain, left-hand side of our screen. They're definitely looking for that same plan as they had last time. Will the other fleet have learnt? Pole position sees itself sat in the middle. The Italians have the Rolex pole predictor star at the top of there at the moment. They're perfectly positioned if they can execute things. Emirates Great Britain, Dylan Fletcher, we just heard him there. We're late, but he is lining up that pole position there. He's going to try and find a gap through the middle. I don't see Rockwell Denmark letting the Spanish in at the top of the line this time. Nikolai Sehersted coming in. The boats all line up. They're charging at the line. New Zealand well positioned. United States well positioned. But Rockwell Denmark, they're on a charge. Nikolai Sehersted going to break the line on 0 if he's got his timing right. What a start by Rockwell Denmark. They're going to be so fast to Mark 1, but I think Emirates Great Britain got a nose through in time. They have to finish ahead of Spain, and Spain are out of the blocks like a bullet out of a gun.
Up and foiling in race number 5. This is the final fleet race here in Dubai before the event final, and Spain did exactly what they had to do, get a great start. Denmark will get the whole shot at mark number 1, and then it's Emirates GBR, so keep your eye on the British and the Spanish. Whoever finishes in front of the other will more than likely make it into the final.
Well, the Rolex Mark 1 sprint leader, Denmark there, that was perfection, and for Sehersted on that start, they're leading out there. They're on a bit of a battle to save some pride here after that, but they've lined themselves well up for gate 2, and yeah, it's Spain against Great Britain for that battle to the final. The last 2 Olympic 49er gold medalists, Dylan Fletcher in Tokyo 2021, Diego Bortin in Marseille 2024. Well, they're going head to head here, and they're absolutely neck and neck. Great Britain must keep clear at the moment.
As they make their way down to gate number 2. This is the DP World Gate. It will be Rockwell Denmark that'll get there first, and here comes Emirates GBR on the inside.
Aggressive love from Spain.
Wow.
Aggressive love. Great Britain had to stay clear. I imagine Botin will ask the question. That's going to go to the umpire, Craig Mitchell, to make a decision. That was a tight call. We'll find out whether they thought it was clean as Spain decide to turn away and take the other side of the course. Emirates Great Britain following Rockwell Denmark up to 2nd.
Chief umpire Craig Mitchell will have his work cut out for him as everyone's going to take some chances on this 5th and final race before the event final. There is Spain going through in front of the Adrenaline Lounge. It is still Denmark, Emirates GBR, Spain, Canada. Keep your eye on the USA. They still have a chance to make this event final, but they're going to need a big performance, and they're going to need to make some passes.
Okay, so we've heard that was a green flag on that call there. Spain's move towards Great Britain was no penalty. Australia back in 9th, middle of our screen here, and we see an Oracle Cloud, Emily. Ooh.
And this is huge with Australia at the back of the pack. Look what that does to the points. That would see Great Britain and Spain through to the final, and Australia not. They need to gain 1 more position.
That's huge for Slingsby, isn't it, Todd? I mean, he's in the middle of the pack now, and we've seen that the Australian and the Kiwis tend to be the best at overtaking boats. Well, that's what they really need right now.
All right, let's go back to this situation with the Danes.
We can get one in. There's going to be space at the top, holding back here.
Yeah, we're on that. They're looking for space at the start. Here we go. Listen to Nikolai as they come into the start here. Here we go. Look at him go. They accelerate the boat. It's a last-minute wiggle. He was maybe a fraction early, but timed it to absolute perfection.
Yeah, I'm going to hit him. Foiling, tag guys, 49. Pretty happy with the lay line. Yeah, great.
Well, we're back on the race course here, Todd, on this first upwind leg, and Rottwell Denmark got great control of the situation here. Spain, they've lost a few places back to fourth, and it's the United States SailGP team that are going fast, but they need 3 places between themselves and Great Britain to have a chance of making the final. At the back of the pack, though, Slingsby still struggling to get around gate number 2.
The Australians stay in this position. They will miss out on the final. And now the USA, where they're sitting in second place right now, they would make it. So keep your eye on US SailGP, Taylor Canfield and company, as Nikolai Sehested and the Danes are out in front. USA second, Emirates GBR in third.
Oh, there you go. Canfield manoeuvres directly in front of the British. He's trying to lock down that second place. And they've got some great boat speed on that US SailGP team at the moment. What an upwind leg for them. Spain have dropped back to fourth. Australia wallowing in 11th. That would be nil point for the Australians if they can't make some overtakes from here. There's going to be some pressure on that Australian boat now.
How would it be to see US SailGP win the first and last race, which would punch their ticket into the final? Their report card so far was a 177 and a 6.
Well, first real day foiling for their returning flight controller Hans Henken, of course, and you know, I think he'll be really enjoying it. That US boat is foiling nice and smooth, good boat speed at the moment to have moved through the fleet like that, so they're going to be working like that. Whole nother lap to go. Hannah Mills confirming that for Dylan.
Rolling away.
GBR have got to be careful because Spain, well, they've absolutely halved the distance back to the British. And of course, it's important we remember, should there be any ties at the end of this, it's the boat that finishes ahead in the last race that will win on the tiebreak.
And the shake-up really does continue. That overtake by the US team getting ahead of Spain and GBR would see them through to the final, tied on points with Spain. So Spain right now are really going to be looking to get up on the foils.
You see Dylan Fletcher there on the wheel, taking over for Sir Ben Ainsley. He's got Hannah Mills on board as well.
It's so hard on these downwind legs there. You see they're struggling to pull off foiling manoeuvres. That's because there's so much turbulent wind from the boats towards the back of the fleet. We can see there the Italians, they'll be chewing up the wind. The British are going to sail into less wind, and if you're in less wind, there's just less horsepower out there for you. Right now, it's Sehested. Bit of a masterclass for Rottwell Denmark, but Taylor Canfield, he's made some big overtakes. One more lap to go for the US SailGP team. Can they keep finding the puffs, the breeze that they're in right now to get themselves around the course quickly?
Keep it going. Pumping hard here, guys. I'm twist out. I think we follow. Yeah, I agree.
So let's take a look at the Rolex chasing time, and this is the USA and Great Britain, and right now the USA has a 17-second lead over Emirates GBR. This is important. Why? Because if the USA can stay in this top 2 positions, Stevie, they are guaranteed a spot in that final.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like anything's guaranteed right now, does it, Todd? But you're right. On the points, that's what they need to do. Botín, he's the predator here on the left-hand side of our screen. The Spanish boat needs to make some overtakes, and the worst thing they can do is be feeling like they're going to follow. Emirates Great Britain manoeuvre away. The Spanish will get a split on the British at the bottom of the course here. The Spanish will turn left, Great Britain will turn right, and that is opportunity for Botín. He's going to go a different way. If you sail a different way, there's chance of finding more wind.
And I've got to think something's going on with the Australian boat, Stevie. They are dead last in 11th place right now. You've got Switzerland, Red Bull Italy, and Mubadala Brazil. Then you have the Australians who have been doing so well, winning race number 3 and finishing 4th in race 4.
Yeah, all the Spanish are off the foils. Spanish are off the foils. It's going to be so costly. They're going to get slow around that mark. Great Britain foil away the other way. Botín, he had a look. He's aware that British boat's the one he needs to beat, and they need to find wind now and accelerate that Spanish boat.
It's going to be a tough here. It feels like a big header.
Yeah, tough here. Feels like a header. That means the winds maybe change direction and turn them away from the next gate, but Canfield's on that. He's turned the boat, he's changed tacks, and that means he'll be heading on the tack, taking him up the ladder the quickest here. So should be a gain for US here.
Okay, no slower, please. Copy. In this gust, though, definitely pop.
For US SailGP, let's take a look at this with the Emirates fly time. Currently at 81.3%, so that's pretty good considering what Lisa Darman had been reporting as far as where the wind was going to be, if it was going to be patchy, if it was going to be consistent today.
Yeah, that's right. We can see that just dropped off the foil there. It's definitely lost a little bit, but again, they're trying to make the choice to progress straight up the ladder. We can see in the background there, Emirates Great Britain, they're off the foil as well. Only 50 metres over the Spanish at the moment.
Just locking in at 22, 23. Yeah, great.
And here's that race to the final. Still the same top 3 teams as previously. New Zealand, Great Britain, USA through. Spain tied on points with the USA.
Well, what that tells me, Stevie, is don't write anything in pen. No, everything's in pencil right now.
Yeah, it really is in pencil, because we see top right-hand corner of our screen, really it's the battle between Emirates, Great Britain and Dylan Fletcher. Oh, he turns so close to that mark. Good judgment by the British there in the end. Right on top of the Spanish. He won't be affecting their wind, but he's keeping a close eye on that Spanish boat right now. These two out in front, well, they're going well. They've got a good lead. I think Rockwool Denmark should be in a good position to hold the lead to the finish here. Can Spain get foiling?
So this is leg 5 of 7. They'll go through this 5th gate, then downwind, then a right-hand turn to the finish line in front of the Adrenaline Lounge. We check in on the water with Lisa Darman. And Lisa, any changing conditions that may throw a wrench in the system for these 2 top boats, Denmark and USA?
I was just going to say, Todd, I know it said it was less patchy, but it's definitely getting more patchy throughout the afternoon. So you have to make sure you try to do your maneuver when you're in the most pressure. Otherwise, it's not going to be a foiling one. It's a real battle out here, but I think with Rockwool Denmark and the USA team, they've got a really comfortable lead here, and it looks like Great Britain will follow.
This is the umpires. Penalty Brazil, not entitled to mark room, relative Switzerland. Go behind Switzerland.
Costly one there. That was down at that downwind gate to the top right-hand side of here. The Brazilians are going to have to drop behind the Swiss. This could potentially open a door for Australia if the Swiss and the Brazilians get a little tangled up. But the Australians at the moment, they're wallowing at the back. Definitely feels like they've got problems. United States, they look like they're going fast here. They're in 2nd place, look well set up. Spanish, they've lost a lot of distance to Great Britain here. That could mean our finalists are going to be laid in stone fairly soon.
Yeah, we need to. We cannot lose this position against Germany. Full speed here. We really need it. Yeah, let's beat.
He's heard the urgency on board. Florian Trill talking to him.
With that position change, that does drop Spain onto 31 points.
Yeah, and I think actually Florian's maybe 1 point off, because I think perhaps he thinks if they were in that other position they would be in the final. Maybe not quite aware enough of where the United States are, but there's a lot of boats to keep track of here, and Rockwool Denmark's been a good one.
Nikolai Sehested and Rockwool Denmark bring it across the line for the Emirates winning moment as they claim the victory in race number 5.
Oh, thank you. At least we know we can do it when we're foiling, and then we'll figure out how we do that stuff yesterday.
There you go, yeah. That's a good day for Rockwool Denmark. And of course, it's all about the championship season. It's a long season ahead, and I think overall that will have really helped them. But what a start to season here for the United States. Going to have to watch out, though, because the British are foiling, and if the British can get round, no, Britain are happy to avoid contact. I think Dylan will know that they're well lined up to make their way through to the final. So United States and Great Britain looking pretty good right now.
U.S. SailGP, Taylor Canfield and company cross the line when they needed it most. They deliver as they get that 2nd place finish, and that will get them into the event final.
Nice work, guys.
That's a bit more like it. A bit of a celebration on board there. We can see the Spanish here been overtaken by the Germans. 2 more manoeuvres for the Germans from here, though, so Spain could well get up to 4th here, which will mean a decent event finish, but they'll be disappointed to not make the final here in Dubai.
No question about it. There you see Diego Botín, top of your screen. Eric Heil on the right-hand side. Remember, the Germans got a big victory yesterday in race number 2 as they outdid Canada and New Zealand to get that win. So, Stevie, you see the parity starting to form. On any given day, almost any team in the fleet can beat the entire field, as we've seen USA win, Germany win, Australia win, New Zealand win, and Denmark win.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake here by Germany. They've messed up with their board drop, and they've gone wide, fallen off the foils, and just opened a huge gate here. And they're going to have to give room to New Zealand. New Zealand own this mark against Germany. The Kiwis are going to glide in. Germany must keep clear here. They're going to be able to be faster. They could still get round the outside if they're careful here, but they opened a door they shouldn't have. A mistake by Germany, and you've got to minimise mistakes, because as you say, Todd, ultimately this fleet is so tight, mistakes are punished hugely.
So Diego Botín brings it across in 4th place. Looks like they are just going to miss out, possibly by 1 point, as it'll be Germany that will come across. And look at New Zealand. They look like they're going to get passed as well by Canada coming in.
North Star Canada doing a great job there, Giles Scott, but it's been a slightly disappointing day for the North Star Canada team. They're right in with a shot at the final. They won't be happy, but a lot of lessons learned, I'm sure, at this first event. Germany and Canada, frustrating, yeah.
So New Zealand comes across the line in 7th place as the rest of the fleet now makes their way down to that final gate and the right-hand turn to the Emirates finish line in front of the Adrenaline Lounge and the DP World Clubhouse. So we start crunching the numbers, Emily. We start looking at who's going to be the big players as we get to the event final.
There we go, the Swiss coming round there, just in front of Red Bull Italy, but left-hand side of that group there, Slingsby, 11th place. He might sneak through to 10th here. It's a last-minute dive on the inside. Not sure if he quite got there in time. Yeah. He thinks he did. But oh my word, what a race for Slingsby. I'm not sure we want to be on board the Australian boat for the comms across the finish here. I think some colourful language could be called for, because they're going to be so heartbroken after that final race.
Who would have thought after race number 4, with the Australians finishing in 4th place, that they would come back and really struggle the way they did? And I got to think there's something going on with the boat, Steve, because they went to the back of the pack and stayed in the back of the pack after the first leg.
Yeah, they looked electrically fast. I think we'll have to find out afterwards. Both of them took their microphones away there at the end there. Chris and Tom probably wanted a private word with each other, but yeah, I mean, it was a very surprising performance, really. I think Martini Grail on board the Brazilian boat, well, I think they'll be happy with their first event. They had some standout moments, lots of lessons learned, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a tough proving ground, SailGP.
So for 3 teams, it is happiness. For the rest of them, it is all about preparing for the next event. That comes up in January in Auckland, New Zealand. So let's take a look at the standings after 5 complete fleet races. This is how it breaks down. New Zealand is in on 37 points. Emirates GBR also is in on 34. And then you have the Americans. They are in as they get past Spain by way of the tiebreaker. Both Spain and Australia lose out to the Americans with the tiebreaker. So Canada, Rockwell, Denmark, Germany, Switzerland, Mubadala, Brazil, and Red Bull Italy now turn their attention to January and New Zealand. Let's go now on board with Diego Botín. And Diego, you guys started out the campaign so well with a great opening day. What happened on this final day? And you knew you had to somehow get around Emirates GBR.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big fight to make it so well in this race, GBR, and yeah, we made mistakes and we're going to pay them. So
apologies for the breakup there, and thank you for your time, Diego, if you can still hear us. So they just miss out by way of a tiebreaker. Wow, a lot to crunch here. Going back to the start, back to some of the crosses, Emily. There was a lot of action here in race number 5.
I mean, what a start. At first, it looked like the Spanish were really going to get shut out there by the Danish team. Essentially, the bottom third of the line belonged to Denmark and Spain. They had all of this space to accelerate in, and it meant at the gun, Spain had 52 kilometers an hour of boat speed, 20 faster than the rest of the teams other than Spain. No wonder they got to Mark 1 first. And then the battle really did continue. Spain and GBR got straight into their little battle here, knowing that the winner of this race would get through into the final. And here was a defining moment with Spain splitting the other way, dropping off the foils and allowing the USA team to get ahead of them. All of these crosses by the US were a glamour for them. They managed to get up on the foils when Emirates were parked.
Well, it was a really interesting race, Emily, and as Lisa Darmanin reported down the water, very patchy conditions, and the USA just seemed to figure out this course as we look at the fleet going around and round, and Spain missing out, but Taylor Canfield and US SailGP team did just enough to get themselves in, and again, it's a tiebreaker. It's all about points, it's all about numbers. Speaking of numbers, let's crunch some of those numbers and take a look at them and see why the 3 teams that are in there, because as we always know, the numbers don't lie.
So here are our numbers from the Oracle Cloud, and it's quite impressive when we look at the Danish speed, 37.3 kilometers an hour, just really highlighting how beneficial that space is. But look at the difference between GBR and Spain. GBR sailed slower, but 0.8 of a kilometer less distance than Spain, which ultimately gave them that advantage and got them through to the final.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, Stevie, and always very telling when you look at the maneuvers, and the fewer maneuvers, it really translates into better performance. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's just a very complicated course out there. It's very easy to sort of get caught up in the fleet, and I think United States just found an absolutely magic upwind leg on that first upwind, found the space, minimised the manoeuvres, got some good wind shifts, talked about a header, sailed straight up the ladder line and got the job done.
In the end, it's all about the athletes on board and the technology that SailGP gives them to do what they do. The Rolex SailGP Championship has an exciting technological development entering the series at the next event in Auckland. A new shape of hydrofoil will be used across the fleet. T-foils have taken center stage, replacing the traditional L-foils. These innovative components underwent an intense testing process throughout Season 4, with Team Canada leading the charge. This development reached an incredible milestone last season in San Francisco, where the league's fastest speed ever recorded was achieved.
Here we go.
Back scatter down, bounce coming down now. There we go. Happy to take a little more rudder off now.
Oh, there we go. Another 6, 7, 8. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Smashed it. Nice. Hey Phil, that was 101.98.
Do we get it? Do we get it? 101.
This new shape will also improve the control of the F-50s at high speeds.
So much steadier, eh? Yeah.
But with all the teams apart from Canada brand new to this change, it's going to be a steep learning curve for the teams to extract the performance of the T-foil. So Emily, the question to you is, how will this change the game and how are these different?
So now that the foils are built out of titanium instead of carbon fiber, the foils can consist of even thinner sections, decreasing the amount of drag despite the increased size of the foils. Unlike the L foils, the Ts obviously extend beyond the hull by almost a meter, which aside from the obvious danger element, results in more righting moment produced, aka power. This allows the rudders to be set up with less angle and thus less drag, which is what leads to the drastic speed gains. So upwind, we can expect the fleet to be doing 65 kilometers an hour. It's going to be a real test of skills and focus for the flight controllers as they adjust to this new system.
Moments away from the event final as Emirates, the official airline of SailGP. Why would they schedule the departing flight, Stevie? The event final's coming up. Come on.
Well, I know they're about to miss the main show, aren't they? But what a spectacular shot this is with all the F-50s down on the water, flying on the water. And we're looking forward to seeing what's about to come.
It will be New Zealand, the USA, and Emirates GBR battling out for the title. And we're now fortunate enough to go inside Race HQ with a familiar face and an unfamiliar place. Jimmy Spithill, the Red Bull Italy CEO, joined us now. Jimmy, good to see you out of the wetsuit and now running the show as a CEO. What has this experience been like for you not being on the boat this weekend?
Very challenging, actually, Todd. Yeah, very tough. You don't miss much when you're watching, that's for sure. But no, look, it's the first step for our team. And, you know, this is the third day in the water for a brand new boat that's not there 100% technically, so we've got quite a few things we're going to have to work on just to get this boat to its maximum potential. But look, it's a long journey, as we've seen with SailGP. You've really got to get your time in the class. This is a good first step for the team, and we've got a lot to take away now going to New Zealand.
Jimmy, you've got a lot of experience yourself. Philippe next to you, you've got Kyle Langford on the wing. What did it take to persuade Kyle to jump ship and get on board your boat?
Oh, it's great having Kyle. I mean, he's clearly one of the best athletes in SailGP, and I think it says a lot about himself that he's, you know, willing to challenge himself, go out of his comfort zone, and it's very, very beneficial for this new young team coming through to have the benefit of someone experienced like that.
All right, Jimmy, take your Italy cap off for a moment and tell us how you think this is going to play out with New Zealand, with the Americans, and of course with Emirates GBR.
Oh, I'm going to have to go with my old mate Pistol for this one.
Jimmy, appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck. Jimmy Spithill, the Red Bull Italy CEO, and we wish their team the best of luck. We'll see them next in January, of course, at the ITM New Zealand Sail Grand Prix in Auckland. Stevie, I got to think that's going to be tough for him not to be out there racing, and now he's in management.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to definitely get itchy hands, I'm sure about that, but he's got a great team, and I'm sure he'll enjoy the new challenge.
Flying carbon machines driven by the world's best. Yes, powered by nature, powered by nature. We are SailGP.
And we are just about set to go here at the 2025 season opener at the Rolex SailGP Championship. This is the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix presented by P&O Marinas. Stevie Morrison, Emily Nagel, Lisa Darman, and Todd Harris, along with a lot of our favorite race fans. And there are the three teams that will be competing. You have New Zealand on the left, Emirates GBR in the middle, and US SailGP. They will battle it out in the event final to see who takes top honors at the opening event here at the Rolex SailGP Championship. And we now go on board with US SailGP. Taylor Canfield, you guys are in your second season, racing like veterans out there. You come out and win race number 1, and you did what you had to do in race number 5, finishing in a top 2 position. So, with all that behind you, what are you looking forward to in this last race? What do you see out there with the conditions?
Yeah, we're pumped to be in the finals. You know, we worked hard overnight to take that next step up, and the goal is to get better every day. And you know, that's definitely showing for the team. They're doing a great job, so we're pumped. And you know, Prix seems pretty consistent, relatively the same. So we just gotta work hard and you know, keep it simple.
You seem to love it in the UAE, Taylor. Last time you were all or nothing, win or bust. Is that the same approach coming ahead now?
Yeah, I think we might have to go for the win here again. So we're gonna push hard, but. Yeah, it's we're just going to have fun and enjoy it, and we're going to work hard to get into that number 1 spot.
Taylor, quickly, does it all come down to the start? Is it the start or nothing?
You know, the start's really important, obviously, but you know, we clawed back into that last race pretty well. So it comes down to crew work and execution, and you know, we got off the line in decent shape, and you know, kept the pressure on from there.
All right, Taylor, appreciate it. Wish you the best of luck for you and the US SailGP team as they are into the final. And Stevie, at his point, they were back in 7th, 8th place, and they worked their way all the way up to 2nd place. So we join the next team that will be racing in the final. That, of course, being Emirates GBR. Dylan Fletcher back in the mix again with Hannah Mills and company. Dylan, welcome back to the final. How are you guys feeling? How confident are you that you can pull this off?
Yeah, it's fantastic to be back in SailGP, and to be in the final in our first event is great. So yeah, just excited for what we've got home. We've got nothing to lose. Prix looks good, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, you guys need a victory. Remember, it was season 4 in Taranto, the last win. You weren't on board, of course, but you're going to lean heavily on Hannah, Ian Jensen, the rest of the crew. Is it going to come down to that start, or are there spots where you can get around this course and make passes?
I think we've seen some overtaking lane today, but you know, we're going to have a go at leading at Mark 1 and see what happens.
All right, appreciate it, Dylan. Wish you the best of luck. Emirates GBR in the final as well as the USA. And Stevie, this is going to be very interesting because we've had 11 boats out on the water. Now it's just down to 3, plenty of room.
Yeah, a bit more room, bit more chance for boat speed to play out. I think the wing trimmers, Ian Jensen, Blair Took, and I've been really impressed with Jeremy Wilmot, the speed on that US boat. They've made a big improvement. So I think boat speed's going to become king as we get into this race course. But you can't help thinking that if you lead at Mark 1, you give yourself all the options.
No question about it, as we are 2.5 minutes away from the start of the event final here in Dubai. And with under 2.5 minutes to go, it is New Zealand getting themselves into position. Can they pull off some magic yet again? Peter Burling and company just moments ago speaking with our Lisa Darmanin down on the water.
Well, Pete, you're going into the final in first, but it all resets from here. What's going to be the key now?
Yeah, it was nice to get the good skid in the first drive out the way in that race. Made our life a little bit more stressful on board, but it was great how a couple of other teams are having a shocker back there with us. And I think the team, new configurations, is growing, and super excited to be in our first final here in Dubai.
Well, you did win 2 Middle East events last year, and you haven't won since New York. So what would a win mean to the team?
It'd be huge. New York's obviously not that long ago, but new season, new lineup. New look wing, hopefully that doesn't hang around too much longer, but yeah, super excited by the way the group's just taking on this challenge and growing throughout.
And you're up against Emirates, Great Britain and USA. Any tactics on them start? Are you going to stick to yourself?
Yeah, you have to wait and see. These 3 boat starts, it's been so puffy, dynamic, shifty that I think we'll be making a plan with about 10 seconds to go, what end of the line we want. And just trying to sail a good, solid, clean race from there.
Thanks, Pete. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you.
So just over a minute away until the start of the event final here in Dubai. 60 seconds away now. Who will claim the first event at the Rolex SailGP Championship? And it's just about on, Stevie. 3 boats now will battle it out for top honors.
Yeah, well, the Rolex pole predictor's got Fletcher in the perfect position on board Emirates Great Britain at the moment, but I think what we're going to see here is a 2-boat battle for the bottom end of the start line, more towards the top of our screen, left-hand side. Keep your eyes on the black foils. Burling, he said to make a plan with 10 seconds to go. He's made it with 40 seconds to go. He is coming in hot, and our pole predictor likes that at the moment. Up there on the foils now. Right now, it's a battle between United States and Great Britain in the middle of the line. It's all about the timing here as they come back. Burling's fast. New Zealand are fast. How are the other boats going to react to this as we come into the line? They've wound it up on the black foils. Great Britain turns towards the line. United States show us the favourites right now, but it's all about timing. Watch for the line to turn white in 5 seconds' time. 3 seconds, and we're about to go racing here in Dubai. Perfect from Burling at the bottom of the line. New Zealand are going to lead from here. What a start from the black foils.
Pressure on here, okay? Yep.
Speed absolutely kills as New Zealand comes off the line at full speed, and now it is on for Emirates GBR and the USA to try to track him down.
Oh, I mean, they all started so well, but the boat speed of the Kiwi boat there, they looked at least 2, 3, 4 kilometres an hour faster when the gun went, and the Mark 1 sprint leader is New Zealand at Mark 1.
7 legs on this one. It's New Zealand, US, Emirates, GBR battling it out to see who will take the opening event here in the 2025 season.
2, 1, lock. 3, 2, 1. Heavy foiling, rudders on a little.
Okay, nice foiling manoeuvre there. Had to pop a little bit more lift on the rudders then to keep the boat up in the air. Just a change mid-manoeuvre there, Burling cooling. Sorry, Took was cooling there to Leo Takahashi. First boat to manoeuvre Emirates Great Britain. The United States look like they've dropped out of breeze a bit here. Our live SailGP insights right now, brought to us by the Oracle Cloud, so that the speed, well, it favours Great Britain at the moment, but strategically, New Zealand like it, and they're setting up for a left turn at the bottom here. It's going to be tight in the pack, but I love where the Kiwis are going right now.
Change their mind.
First manoeuvre, just trying to keep the boat speed in, I think, is the move here, Todd. They want to stay fast. Everyone else is probably going to have to follow. United States might be able to turn to the left, but they're going to be slow, just trying to sneak across in front of Emirates Great Britain.
So at gate 2, the DP World Gate, it is New Zealand out in front. Emirates GBR decides to follow the Kiwis, and US SailGP will have the right side of the course to themselves.
They will, and they made a nice gain out that side last time. Lisa, last time we saw the United States SailGP team make a real gain with that left turn. I'm surprised the Kiwis let them go there. What are you seeing out on the water?
I do think it's been quite strong this left-hand side. I know there's been big gains on the right-hand side in terms of pressure, but there's a really nice angle to the mark as they head out this way. Interestingly, Great Britain have decided to go back. I think they were getting a little bit of bad air of New Zealand, but USA were the ones that stayed on the foils for longer, so that's going to be a huge distance gain for them.
Next cross will be fairly crucial here, I think, Todd. We got Burling manoeuvring out on the boundary. Right of way is going to be with Canfield. Shows him first at the minute. But what can the United States team do? Can they get foiling? They're up and foiling on board the United States. This is a massive advantage. They have the right of way. They will be in the lead at this early stage of the race.
Emirates GBR has to dip behind the Americans, and here comes Peter Burling trying to get his boat up and foiling as well.
He's going to try and get up and foiling, but he's going to have to avoid the United States. Canfield will be in the lead halfway up this leg. Great call by the United States there. The Kiwis didn't quite be accurate enough at the bottom. They're going to struggle here a little bit, and it's Great Britain. They're sailing out to wind on that right-hand side. That's a huge turn up for the United States.
I agree. Heading line by here, stand by. Yep. And go on board. Very light, big header. 3, 2.
Okay, we're on board the United States there. They're saying about header. We can see the wind had turned to the left. We're going to go back to the start.
Yep.
Looking at on board the black foils here.
Oh, guys. 100% here, we're going to the boat.
Okay, well, he's rope-a-doped him there as he went to the other end of the line. Burling came flying through, but look at him foiling at the gun. But, well, this race is panning out that the start is not everything.
Right.
That is for sure. It was perfect by the black foils there, but they did make a mistake at gate 2. They've lost the lead, but there's plenty of racing left here on the water as we come back with the fleet. United States must keep clear of Great Britain. Great Britain in the lead, but it's going to be the black foils with the right of way next. The lead is changing all the time here. I like where the Kiwis have gone. There does seem to be more wind on that right-hand side of the course. Can United States make the right turn with no more manoeuvres? Oh, he's trying to sneak round there, Canfield. He's trying to turn the boat towards the wind. He's off the foils. Emirates, Great Britain will be faster. Burling will split the course left. It's all about who's found the wind after gate 3. Wow, all the boats are going to be so tight here, Todd.
The breeze inside, press down into.
Here, Hannah Mills talking with Dylan Fletcher on Emirates GBR. Can they get to the inside of the US SailGP team? Well, the Americans are up and foiling, so here we go.
Yeah, well, they should be putting disturbed wind onto the British ship. The British got foiling faster. Use that speed. They're on the inside here. I like where the Kiwis are going because they've got a bit more space out there. Lisa, it seems so changeable on the water. Great Britain moves away. United States are going to be following them. Do you think the Kiwis have got a shot?
I think the Kiwis are coming back really strong. As we've seen here in Dubai, the patches of wind, they're really small, and they've brought this really nice one all the way down the course and about to do the foiling manoeuvre in that foiling drive. But from where I'm sitting, it actually looks like Emirates Great Britain are going to have the advantage here.
Oh, they've got a good advantage, Lisa, that's right. And we just saw a penalty on the United States. They got a 60-metre boundary penalty. They were trying to stretch the course, but I think that was a bit of an unforced error, really. Emirates manoeuvred away first, so Emirates Great Britain in the lead. New Zealand must keep clear of the United States SailGP team, and well, we saw how crucial the decision was at the bottom of the course here. Great Britain setting themselves up to turn left. That was the way to go last time. Can Emirates Great Britain hold off the charging black foils? Kiwis are going to look to dive on the inside at gate 4.
So on the cross, US SailGP team, they make their way to the right side as Emirates GBR and the Kiwis opt for the left, and here come the Americans. Again, they will follow around.
Kiwis are going to dive on the inside. I think they've got room as they go round. Advantage New Zealand. There's going to be a protest from Great Britain.
Look how close.
They've got to keep clear. Black foils have to manoeuvre away. Wow, that was so tight. Slow turn. Green flag from the umpires there. Great Britain had to give space to New Zealand. Aggressive from Fletcher. Brilliant from Burling, and Canfield's on the back foot as we round that final bottom gate. They've got 2 more legs to go, Todd.
So up to the top of the course, then back down, then the right hand to the finish line. There you see the Rolex chasing time, and it is Emirates GBR and New Zealand locked in a great battle. Don't forget about US SailGP and Taylor Canfield and company. They are coming to the mix with some speed now.
Yeah, New Zealand up and foiling here, Todd. The Rolex chasing time there shows a slight gain to New Zealand at the moment over Great Britain. It's down to 6 seconds. Great Britain's still not foiling, so all the time New Zealand are foiling and Great Britain are not. It's gains to the black foils. Look at the speed on that. Burling, absolute perfection on that downwind leg. If I was a coach of the other teams, I'd be just drawing into the Oracle Cloud for all the data I could get on the Kiwis after this. Still only 1 boat in the fleet foiling at the moment, and that's the black foils. Little replay here, it's so tight. We're on board New Zealand as he dives inside.
We're going to have GBR here. It's a little fast mode now. Hey, starting to turn. Are we overlapped?
But it looked like they were overlapped to me. That's why New Zealand had to turn away at the mark there to keep clear, but they'd done enough at that point. They had dived inside. We see how tight it is there at the mark. Emirates Great Britain must give them speed, space to round the mark, but as soon as the back of that New Zealand boat leaves the mark there, it's right of way Great Britain. Burling has to turn away, and there you go. Well, he certainly milks it to the absolute limit. It's a slow turn away, but it was enough to keep the umpires happy.
Back to racing action, and here's how it changes every moment. Now it's New Zealand with a 100-meter lead over US SailGP in second place as Dylan Fletcher and Emirates GBR, they found themselves one of those patches that Lisa Darman has talked about on the course. There's just no breeze.
Yeah, they've won, and they're back up on foils, though. Fletcher there, he's turned the boat, but he's directly behind the New Zealand boat and not on the foils. Huge advantage to the black foils at gate 5. They will turn right at the top of the course. They're going to sail downwind and then a right turn to the finish in front of the fans. What can Emirates Great... Okay, there you go. Dylan said it for us. They're holding on. We look into the insights here. We can see the foiling time for USA. It's good, but unfortunately they've ended up sailing a bit too much distance on board there. So it's not all about foiling out here. It's so shifty, the wind. If you can minimise the distance as you get around this course, it can make a massive gain, and that's a big lead for Burling. Fletcher now, he's turned his eyes backward to try and defend that place from Canfield and the US SailGP team.
So it's the Kiwis, the black foils out in front. They had the best start. Can they hold on for one more leg? It's down to the bottom of the course here, then a right-hand turn to the finish line and the victory. Dylan Fletcher, Emirates GBR, currently in second place. Taylor Canfield, let's see what he does. Does he roll the dice and see if he can't get another position?
Todd, I mean, I'm not sure what it is the black foils are doing, but downwind at this event, they have been absolutely magical. I put a lot of credit for that on Leo Takahashi, the flight controller, and Blair Tuke, the wing trimmer. I mean, Burling's sailing a tactical masterpiece with Liv Mackay, of course, but the boat speed they seem to have downwind is unbelievable on average. I say that and they fall off the foils, so they're not going to love me for that. Could be an opportunity for Emirates Great Britain, as we see here. The black foils are off the foils at the moment. They're looking to accelerate 30 kilometres an hour. That's the magic number. Great Britain manoeuvre. One last chance to attack.
Let's take a look at the Emirates fly time, and it goes the way of Britain right now. It's 70%, but they are in second place, and they are closing it down just a little bit. They've got just a short amount of time to get it done, Stevie. Do they have the speed?
Oh, they've nailed that last manoeuvre. They made a huge gain, but I think it's too little too late. Could be two more manoeuvres. Hannah Mills calls it. Two more manoeuvres for both boats. They've got to do a right turn at gate 6. The chasing time from Rolex is coming in the favour of New Zealand. New Zealand will make it with no more turns. This is going the way of the black foils.
And an early celebration for the Kiwis. Not quite there yet, but it's safe to say the Emirates winning moment goes the way of the black foils as New Zealand claims the first event of the 2025 season.
Oh, celebrations for the black foils. They do love the Middle East.
And look at this, the battle now on for second place. So you've got Emirates GBR, they have to close it out, but look how fast Canfield's coming in.
Yeah, there was no room there. It's too tight, no room for Canfield in there. It looked to me like Emirates Great Britain went in early.
Yeah. This is the umpires, penalty USA, not entitled to mark room, go behind GBR.
Yeah, there was no overlap as the British boat touched that yellow circle. Fletcher had really lined him up to suck him into that gap. So Emirates Great Britain will sail through. They will take second. Can't blame Canfield for trying.
I was going to say, you can't blame him for trying. What do you have to lose? One position? So instead of second, they get third, but a great move and a great charge by US SailGP. And as Taylor said, had to go for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's what it's all about. We're out in a race, aren't we? You've got to put it on the line. And the US SailGP team, well, they should be very, very proud with this event. Same for Emirates Great Britain, a final in front of their fans there. Good performance from Dylan Fletcher, but I think everyone's seen where the bar's set.
Oh, well, it was all said and done. The Kiwis were already celebrating their victory here at the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix presented by P&O Marinas. And then the battle for points. The USA and Emirates GBR, one more time, Stevie, out of the sun. Look at this.
Yeah, well, hopefully Dylan could see more than we can in that moment, because he really milked it for the umpires there. They didn't have room to go between Great Britain and the mark because they weren't overlapped on our yellow circle that we see on the overhead view. You can see there Emirates Great Britain suddenly have to turn away. It was tight. Well judged by Fletcher. Taylor did have to go for it.
Are we pressing the process?
Yes,
I imagine you are, Dylan.
They got an up-close and personal look at Lady Liberty.
Yeah, he did. Well, it's tight. But
Craig Mitchell didn't like it.
That's SailGP, though, isn't it, Todd? It's got to be tight. You've got to push the limit. We're racing, and we're racing hard. What in a first event.
Right in front of the grandstands as the USA tries to pull off the move of the match. They don't get it done. They are penalized. They go to third. So it's New Zealand, Emirates GBR, and the USA 1 through 3. Wow, a lot to digest there, Emily. Let's go back to the start. And how about the start by the black foils come blazing in from the back?
And it's a story we've seen before. While the British and Americans were too busy fighting, New Zealand set up a long way away, aimed for the empty space, and came in with ultimate speed. Now, the US had the Rolex best time start. They crossed the line first, technically, but the Kiwis, they were at over 45 kilometers an hour, way faster than the other two, which put them in the lead. But the story wasn't over there, and we did see plenty of action all around the racecourse. Teams coming off of the foils, plenty of lead changes, and they really did push it all the way around the course.
You know what was amazing, Emily, is we're going to crunch the numbers here. Each team had an opportunity to lead this race, but in the end, it was the black foils, more consistent, less maneuvers, cleaner maneuvers.
Yeah, that was definitely noticeable out there, was just how important all of those maneuvers were today, being able to get up on the foils, be stable on the foils when the opportunity did arise, and just making the most of every gust that they had. Especially out of some of the turns, we saw them dropping off the foils, and that's where the positions were lost.
Saw how close they got with Emirates GBR on that one move, but what a race it was. And New Zealand gets it done. We're now lucky enough to go on board New Zealand as they get ready for celebration and for prize giving. Let's talk to their strategist, Liv Mackay. Liv, it was an amazing race. You guys got a great start, but there were some pretty tight moments in there. Let's go down to Lisa Darmanin.
Winning here in Dubai must be really exciting for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we literally just crossed the finish line, so yeah, feeling pretty stoked. There's an awesome crowd out here in Dubai, and yeah, it's nice to take the win here again.
All right, well, I better let you go and get the champagne. Blair, it was a big day out there. How do you feel?
That was epic. What a way to start the season. New group. Boat just made it together in time, and yeah, what an awesome sort of focus effort from the team. So super stoked. Let's go enjoy it.
All right, go celebrate. Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Lisa. Stevie, Blair Tuke, Peter Burley, Liv Mackay, they get a lot of attention, a lot of grip, obviously, for what they do. But Leo Takahashi steps on board, fills some big boots, and they come away with a win.
Yeah, that's right. He's the third one back there as he's coming in. So Leo with the hat off there, coming in front of us now. Yeah, I mean, what a lot of pressure. You filled in for Andy Maloney. I mean, he's they're one of the absolute best in the business. And Leo's been there, and he's had a sort of stop-start career, I suppose, really, with SailGP. And this is a huge opportunity. You're sailing with the current top sailors on the planet, and he's coming and he's shown well. He's got the mettle to deal with it. I mean, yeah, Pete, Liv Mackay, Blair, they've been there winning the whole time. Alex Sinclair, the grinder, I mean, those guys go unspoken about the effort they put in the front of the boat, but this team is a lean machine.
There are the winners here at the Rolex SailGP Championship, the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix, presented by P&O Marinas. As we kick off the 2025 season, Event 1 goes the way of the black foils. Peter Burley and company as New Zealand gets the win here in Dubai. You go back to their last victory in New York City in Season 4, Stevie. The thing that impresses me about New Zealand is they are good pretty much in any condition. You put them in big winds, puffy winds, patchy, little wind, they're still consistently in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good point, actually, Todd, that you make there. They really are. I mean, there you go, celebrating. They've done a fair bit of celebrating in their time, and they'll be loving. Let's not forget there's a bit more prize money flying around this time. So I think that should be $400,000 for the team for winning this event here. Total prize purse of $800,000 for this event.
I want to give thanks to His Excellency Saeed Harib, the Secretary General of Dubai Sports Council, presenting the trophy to the Kiwis. And now the celebration can begin. And Stevie, talk about this. Momentum in their favor. They win this event. The next event just so happens to be the ITM New Zealand Sail Grand Prix in Auckland.
Well, it's going to be a very different look, I think, when we get down to Auckland. You'd expect a bit more breeze, perhaps a little bit more sea state flying around. But that's just going to play right into their hands.
Well, just moments ago, Lisa Darmanin with the Rolex event winner interview, speaking with Liv Mackay, Blair Tuke, Andy Maloney, who's moved to Brazil. But you talk about Leo Takahashi, it's out of habit. 4 seasons worth of it.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's a great team and thoroughly deserved. I mean, they've sailed fantastically through this event. I think I want to go away from this event diving into to how they're sailing the boat downwind, and I think all the other teams should be as well.
So the Kiwis now celebrate their victory as they start this 5th season off with a great performance. We now check in with the other members who were participating in that event final. Emirates GBR looked like an outside shot coming into the second day, but they get it done. Dylan Fletcher back in the mix here in SailGP. And Dylan, wow, what a topsy-turvy race. You guys got a tremendous team with a lot of experience. Take us through that race. What was the difference?
Yeah, it was good first finals, and yeah, really exciting, but disappointed not to deliver at the end of the day. We got into the lead and thought we'd done enough to give the Kiwis a penalty, but obviously the umpires didn't see it that way.
Hannah, this is the 3rd driver you've had in about 6 months. You seem to still manage to keep them getting around the course okay. Looks like you two are getting on pretty well, but generally speaking, the team's happy coming away from this event?
The team's really happy. Dill's done an awesome job this week getting stuck in.
into all the detail. It's super tough conditions, this sort of light, fickle foiling, not foiling, and yeah, the team obviously done a great job this weekend. Really proud of everyone.
Final question, Dylan, we'll get you out of here. What do you need to change before you head to New Zealand in January?
There's plenty to sharpen up on. I was certainly the weak link this weekend, making a lot of mistakes, so hopefully you can come back stronger, and looking forward to the new T-foils.
Dylan, Hannah, appreciate your time. Congratulations. Emirates GBR finishing in second at the first event of the season, and they will take 9 valuable points as we take a look at more numbers, more performance metrics. Emily, there's so much to crunch in this. As we said, each of the 3 teams had an opportunity to lead.
Yeah, so this is a really nice look here about why the Kiwis were so dominant out there in that final race. So look at that performance on the jives, just drastically better than the USA team. The US were actually stronger in a straight line downwind and upwind. But if the US team wanted to get a win in an event, they really need to work on their tacks and jives.
Well, we'll have a little look here at the DP World highest speed winner at this event. And of course, that went to the Spanish, 64.84 kilometers an hour. But I guess that is the definition that speed isn't necessarily everything. Few too many mistakes for the defending champions at this event. They got a little bit to think about for Diego and Florian, but they'll be happy to still be sailing fast.
Let's take a look at the points after one event. 10 points go the way of the winner, so New Zealand lead it with a 10. Emirates GBR will take the 9. USA with a great start as they go to 8, and the rest of the fleet now with work to do. But again, that does not take place for nearly 6 weeks' time. The next stop in the Rolex SailGP Championship, we are heading to the Southern Hemisphere in January as the league returns to New Zealand for the 3rd successive season. How about this? That is going to be a long journey from Dubai all the way to New Zealand, back in Auckland. This will be an amazing venue. Look at this. It's just spectacular. So many great sailing fans down there, and the Kiwis coming off a victory. They will have a lot of momentum. SailGP is coming to Auckland, New Zealand. The biggest fleet of one design cutting-edge F-50s will race for victory on the stunning Waitemata Harbor. The City of Sails will be expecting a performance from the Black Foils and their driver, Peter Burley. No team has raced an F-50 in Auckland. It's going to be fascinating to see 12 teams line up for the first time. So Stevie, it's off to Auckland for us.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these F-50s in the City of Sails. It's going to be absolutely spectacular racing down there in the new year.
So that wraps things up for the opening event of the 2025 season, the Rolex SailGP Championship, the Emirates Dubai Sail Grand Prix presented by P&O Marinas. For Stevie Morrison, Emily Nagel, Lisa Darmanin, and our entire crew, I'm Todd Harris. We'll see you in New Zealand. Congratulations, the Kiwis win in Dubai. The world's best sailors are prepared to go to work in search of a title on the waters in the port of Mina Rashid. And the champions from last year are off and running. The Kiwis somehow find a way for the Emirates winning moment.
What a start by Rottwell, Denmark.
Bring it across the line.
What a start from the Black Foils. The lead is changing all the time.
New Zealand claims the first event.